Hello, hello. I'm saying hello to no one. So, this was meant to be the live interview with Manning 8, or aka Scott. Unfortunately, Scott has some technical issues, and yeah, we should have prepared in advance, and we didn't. So, the the interview will be postponed, and I thought I still come quickly online, live, and see if anyone joins. Don't worry about it, Manning, Scott. Sorry, everyone. Manning 8 is Scott. uh, don't worry, Scott. That happens, technical issues. You have Apple stuff. I don't, so I can't really help you very much, but we'll find a way. Don't worry about it. Fluffer joined quickly, but she's meant to go into someone else's live as well shortly, so I'm not going to keep many people around unless there are people who wants to chat about anything or everything. Um, so do not apologize, Scott. It will happen. Probably in 2 weeks' time if you're around. As next Sunday, I can't. Or any other day if you can. We can sort it out. I will continue in the background, try to help you, Scott. We'll get it working. Don't worry. I just don't really like going live on my mobile phone because I have nothing set up, with my intro and my outro. I call it outro, but just, the ending. And StreamYard is very simple to use for that. Um, I know, though, I've seen it somewhere. I just can't remember where. Or I might have received an email from StreamYard. They have created an iPhone app and they are looking for people to test it. So that might be something to look into it, Manning. So yeah, I don't have an iPhone, so I can't test it. There's no. Well, actually, I don't know if there's an app for Androids. I need to check the Google Play and see if it exists or not. I do not think it exists, but I would be surprised if it doesn't exist already. And surprised they're just trying to get the iPhone app tested yet now. So, as much as I know, StreamYard has been around for quite a while. Um, yeah, so I apologize for everyone that this is not happening. I'm waiting to see. We have 2 viewers at the moment. We are both very, very sorry. I was really looking forward to this interview, but guys, it will happen again. We will try again, and it will sort it out in the next couple of weeks. What's going on with me? Lots, lots is going on privately, so I need to sort this stuff out. That's why I've been a bit quiet lately. I try to once in a while, or if I get notification on my phone, I try to join lives and to have a few chats. I can't always stay the entire live because there are too many people going live, too many things that I watch or not. But as soon as I have sorted my thing out, I'll be back a bit more how you say that, more videos. I'm still working on the ones I've been telling you for the last 2-3 weeks. It's just taking time, and it takes time of the more important private stuff that I'm sorting out. What else? Yeah, today is a bit of a sad day in a sense. if you haven't grown up with French music, French cinema, like I did, even though I'm not French, but as French is my mother tongue, um, one of the last um, iconic cinema actor in France has died this morning at the age of 88, and his name was Alain Delon. He was known. He wasn't very well known in France, obviously. He was, oh, blimey, when he was young, he was amazingly good looking. I mean, phew. Um, but I always thought he was a bit arrogant. But he had a good life. He had an amazing career, and he was in amazing pictures. He was also very well known for having a relationship with Romy Schneider, who, for the ones who don't know, Romy Schneider was a German actress who started her career actually in France. Um, but they did for the ones who know those movies, I grew up with those movies, is Sissy the Imperatrice. So that was the story, the real story of the Austrian Emperatrice Sissy. And obviously they did a romantic version of what her life was, but Romy Schneider became really famous with those movies. And I grew up with this. There were actually three three movies. And in those days, Austria and Hungary were somehow linked, and the emperor, emperor, other words I can't pronounce properly. The emperor became also the king of Hungary. She was extremely well loved in Hungary. Very beautiful woman. She came from Bavarian area in Germany. So Romy Schneider played her. And then she went to France and did an amazing career in France. And she got involved with Alain Delon. She was extremely beautiful as well. She had a tragic life, actually. Her son died. But anyway, I don't want to make it more sad than anything. But anyway, he was known to have dated her in his younger years. Hi, Papa Smurf. Thank you for joining. Um, I'm sorry, Papa Smurf. We have technical issues on Manning 8's side. So the interview is postponed. So I'm going to stay live for a little while, 10-20 minutes, and then I will stop this. I just thought I'd come on and explain. And yeah, like I said, Alain Delon, one of the last iconic film actors in France, died this morning. So that's somehow the end of an era. Yeah, and when he was young, he was extremely beautiful. Um, but I personally thought he was a bit arrogant. Yeah, but yeah, if he was, I mean, there were other actors in his age group who were probably not as beautiful, but were extremely funny and charming. So yeah, I can show you a picture of Alain Delon. Let me see. Alain, whoop. Oof. Sorry, I somehow typed. I don't know what I did, but it switched off the laptop. Well, it put the laptop into sleep, so I apologize. Yes, so I was looking for, let me show you. I was not typing the name correctly. The images. Okay, let me go back to StreamYard. Present. Here we go. I'm just going to double check if you can see it. Yep. Okay. So that's Alain Delon in his younger years. Or him. That's him. Oops. Oh, come on. Don't you hate this? Where's the picture gone? I hate those websites. Anyway, that's him with Romy Schneider. He was a good-looking man. That was in his older years. So when just trying to figure out. Yeah, and we've known that he was ill for quite a while. And his children, he has 3 children. I think they're all from different mothers. They've been at it for his inheritance for years. It's quite sad, really. His older son, Anthony Delon, when he was young, he looked exactly like his dad. Look at that. He looked like his dad in the younger years. So let's go back. Yeah, so that was Alain Delon. Let me see. Another actor that died a few years ago, actually during the pandemic, was Jean-Paul Belmondo. So Jean-Paul Belmondo, if you see, he was not exactly good looking, but he had charm. He was very funny. He was more the kind of actor that I liked. He played a lot of gangster movies, lots of extremely funny movies as well. So I grew up with this kind of actors, but Alain Delon is really the last. And he Jean-Paul Belmondo, he had an what's the president of France called again? Do you guys know? Let me just stop sharing this. Emmanuel Macron, and they did a state funeral for him. That was quite impressive. Let me see. Papa Smurf is here. Yeah, well, it's understandable, Papa Smurf. You know, if you don't speak any other languages and you didn't grow up with these actors or movies, it's normal. I had a dad who liked English language, and yeah, everything that was spoken in English, he was reading it, and books in English. So we heard English since we were small. So and Hollywood was Hollywood. I mean, I miss, the area of, Rock Hudson, Gary Grant, Elizabeth Taylor, I was going to say Elizabeth Arden. No, it's not the same one. The other one. No, she's not Elizabeth. Catherine Hepburn, Audrey Hepburn, Doris Day. This kind of movies, romantic and funny, and nothing too. These are the movies that I grew up to. But in the country I lived, we very rarely had these movies on Swiss television in English. It was always dubbed in French or English. So when I started to speak and know English better, and watched suddenly those movies that I knew in English, and I'm like, oh, they have strange voices, because I was so used to, the either the French or the German voice that was on those movies. So that was quite funny in some kind of way. But it took me a while to get used to their own real voices, if you know what I mean. So François Truffaut, ooh, Papa Smurf. A very strange man, Francois Truffaut. I don't understand his movies. This is not kind of movies. I Truffaut and Godard. You know, I, yeah. In general, I like a lots of things. I sometimes like how you say that. Trying to figure out what the names are. Thrillers or more action movies. I like that too, but don't make me watch horror movies. I think the last horror movies I was made to watch, and I had nightmares for a long time, was the first Saw movie. This is heavy BS. Sorry, but no. What else do I like to watch? Um, I'm trying to on what is this channel on Amazon Prime called? Discovery Plus. I like everything that has to do with ghost hunting. I love it. I can watch it during the night. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't scare me. Not at all. Close Encounters. Yeah. Yeah. But you see, for me, François Truffaut and Godard are not exactly, they're not exactly actors that I would, or filmmaker that I would put on top of my lists. France had really amazing actors. There was Yves Montand. Yves Montand filmed a movie with Marilyn Monroe, if you guys remember. I can't remember which movie it was. The 7 Year Itch? No, that's not Yves Montand. But anyway, Yves Montand was, he was, I don't even know if they ever been married, but he lived with an actress called Simone Signoret, who was an amazing actress as well. Um, Let me think, other actors. Jean Gabin. There were so many good actors. They all gone. Oh, Papa Smurf. I love Marilyn Monroe. Marilyn Monroe, Elvis Presley, James Dean. Oh, oof. There's some good stuff, Papa Smurf, on Discovery Plus. There's one, is a British one. It's called Help, My House is Haunted, or something like that. And then they have also the celebrity version, which is quite funny in a sense. Um, they had, that dancer called Phil. He's always like that. He's always dancing. He has a haunted house. Then what's his name? The guy who used to be um, Princess Diana's butler. His name is here. Um, and mainly, British celebrities as well. The guy with the long hair who used to do interior designs on television. Well, you see, I've never seen Poltergeist. Natalie Wood. Yeah, you're right. Natalie Wood. Yeah. I had a huge crush on James Dean, even though I I discovered him way after he was dead. Yeah, when I came to London in my early 20. No, I wasn't even 20 then, because I turned 20 in London. Um, I stayed with a family friend, and first time actually I left home, traveled alone, and arrived in London, even though I've been to London before with my parents, etc. So I stayed with this guy, and uh, he made me dinner, and we watched. I just had the name of this movie, and now I forgot. 666. What's that movie called? P. Did it start with P? G. I can't remember. What was the name? Anyway, that movie, and it scared the daylights out of me. I mean, really. That kid who had 666? I thought you start Papa Smurf to make me scared. The Omen. Thank you. That's what it was. Not P. The Omen. Yeah. That was. I know there were another two of the Omen movies. Never watched them. Just the first one. I didn't understand half of this English because I came to London to learn better. So yeah, I saw something you wrote. Sorry. Patrick Swayze. Oh, I loved Patrick Swayze. He was great in Ghost, yeah. And come on, I'm not very good with my memory today. What's going on? Hmm, I got it. Whoopi Goldberg. She was amazing as the ghost, wasn't she? Yes, on Discovery Plus, and then there are some. I like that there are some, and then oh, for the ones who know the Osbournes, obviously we know them over here because they're British, but living in America. Ozzy Osbourne and his family. Jack Osbourne, his son, he does ghost hunting as well. So there are some good programs about him. Um, there is one, I'm trying to remember a program that's in America though. So there's a guy, he's a retired New York detective, and she is some kind of medium. And so someone calls them and say, I have a ghost or whatever. Because it's not only, in the end, it's not only ghost, it can be other things that can be quite evil. And so she does her tour of the house in, when it's dark, and he does separately, does investigation, and then at the end of his investigation she has done her tour of the house, etc., and she tells you what she sees, what she feels, and then at the end they come together and they're sitting opposite the homeowners, or the family, or the people who live in that house or flat. Well, mainly it's houses in America. And then it starts, and it's quite unbelievable, the investigation he does, going to um uh, what do you say, what happens on that land, exactly where the house is in, in the past, s- if it's 50, 100 or 200 years ago, etc., etc. It's really interesting, it's very good. I need to find out the name of it. Can't remember by heart. Oh gee. Yeah, Jack Osborne has done a few in those kind of asylum or hospitals as well, or prisons. But the problem to ghost hunt in those places is that, because these are places where lots of people were there, There's a lots of energy in there. um, I wouldn't put one foot in there, honestly. Mm-mm. Nor would I watch a movie called Yeah, and then there are others. Ones just have to get used to. Some of the ghost hunters are not that interesting to watch because they're a bit flat. But there's a few that is like a series where um, one was a woman, instead of just buying a house somewhere, I can't remember where it was in America, she buys an entire village, and so she has few houses there, and she makes it into somehow like a B&B slash museum, but it's extremely haunted because it used to be, well, it looks really like a little bit like a Western village. You know what I mean? Yeah, you wouldn't go in there either. I mean, Jack Osborne looks a bit, like a tough guy, but I've seen him many times jumping up or even squeak like a girl. I mean, I wouldn't look. I always say, watching it, even in the middle of the night, it doesn't bother me one thing. It will not make me have nightmares. And I would love to go one day, somewhere where I know I've heard that a lot of ghosts have appeared in a castle. I mean, I do live in Scotland. There must be castles out here that are haunted. But I don't know how I would react if I see or feel some kind of energy. I might run for my life. I don't know. I can't say that I'm gonna be a strong girl and stay there the night, unless there are about three people with me in the same bedroom, because I think I would be scared. But I would like to encounter it one day, but certainly not in an asylum or one of these old hospitals or prisons. No, that I've seen quite a few of these episodes on Discovery Plus, and I have to say, it's scary as heck, honestly. Perhaps you didn't have such a wild imagination, perhaps. Let me reread. We had two haunted places where I used to live as a kid, but that was just cause I was a kid with a wild imagination. Perhaps, perhaps not, right? You don't know that. Really, I would love to go into a house that is haunted. Perhaps not a castle the first time around, because castles are quite big. You could get lost if you want to run for the hills, right? So perhaps just a haunted house for the beginning, to see if I would feel. I know I have some kind of. When my dad died, I was in my early 20s. I went to see a medium, and this lady had said I had very some kind of whatever energy and feelings, even though I have no clue how to use it or what. So I'm just wondering if I would go into a haunted house, if I would feel the energies. What interests me also in those documentaries is the technology they're using. As you guys know, I love technology. And it's these technologies that have been somehow been popping up to, how you say that, to measure energy, measure heat. There's even these cameras they have that if there is some kind of ghost, it looks like a stick man on the camera. It's quite fascinating, I have to say. I especially like the. You see, I haven't watched them in a while because nothing has been renewed or new seasons have come out, so I haven't watched in a while. So I forgot all the names, but it's like they're recording like a recording device. So they ask a question, then they record, they stop, and then they listen. And very often you hear the answers of whoever. That is something I would like to try one day. I heard of the Blair Witch Project. Again, I have never watched it because it's a movie, right? So I do prefer the documentaries. It's real, but I would say what? Oh, sorry. Oh, Bonnie's whinging. And also, I might have to finish in about 10 minutes. I've been waiting for Amazon for since 10 o'clock this morning. The timings has changed and now it's still delivering by 10 p.m. So I don't know where they are. I just remembered that Amazon still hasn't turned up. So yeah. Oh, they might be here. I hope. That's the don't bark now, otherwise I can't hear. Shh, 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 shh. I'll be back in 2 minutes, Papa Smurf. I'm just gonna quickly check the how you call it, the door. Stop. I'm going to have a look. Stop barking. Seriously, Baxter? That wasn't for us. Whew. Sorry. Well, no one was at the door because I'm still waiting for Amazon to bring me that parcel. No, it's not dinner. I don't have often a takeaway. But the village not far away from here, they have a place. They only deliver at the weekend until 1:30, but they make an amazing English breakfast. It's beautiful. It's too much for me. It's not expensive, but give me a second. Bonnie, stop it. Bonnie, out of the kitchen. There's so much that I can share it with both of the dogs, and everyone is happy, honestly. But that I take I order it once a month. Okay. Postman Pat. Well, I don't know how it is in Ireland, Papa Smurf, but over here they're talking about reducing the days of the postman to deliver mail. So 3 days a week instead of 6 days a week. What's going on in this country? I don't know. This dog are totally unsettled. Yeah, well, yes, they are hungry, but it's still not time. So, yeah, you guys have been great to keep me company. No, they're not going mad. They're just misbehaving. Baxter's already lying down in front of the bowl, and Bonnie's jumping up and down the sofa, which she normally doesn't do that. She just sleeps. But I think thinking that there was someone at the door, they know now that I'm expecting something. So it's gonna be a mayhem. Yeah, the thing is, I don't know why the post office, to be honest with you, they should just continue like that and first make sure um, they pay back and compensate the people from the post office scandal. Can you calm down for 2 minutes? 10 minutes. 10 minutes. Jesus. Yeah, right? Let them do this first. And then not on the taxpayers' money either, as well. I'm not for it. I can't believe that this story has been going on for 25 years. I mean, on YouTube, they have daily. It's not really a trial, but they're interviewing all these people that were involved. It's unbelievable. I'm shocked to the core. But I didn't know about the story until I saw the TV series on STV from the 13th of August, July. I'm sorry. Bill from 13th by Yeah, I don't get it. I mean, there's some strange stuff going on here in Scotland. I mean, there's constantly issues with ScotRail. Uh, they added more trains and there are more problems. Don't get that. Mail, either it comes or it doesn't. I get emails that say, "Didn't you get our letter?" And I'm like, "No." As long as I haven't received it, I don't care. Right? If you don't get it, you don't get it. Go to the post office. Um, yeah, there's some strange stuff going on here in Scotland. I don't know. I don't know if it's political or not. And it's August. Today was not too bad. Yesterday it was grey all day. What are we today? Sunday. So yesterday was grey all day. Friday as well. No, Friday it was raining. Because obviously Thursday we had amazing, beautiful weather and sunshine and warm. And obviously on Friday we had to pay for it. Wednesday afternoon it rained buckets. I mean, it was like, no, no. Yes, privatizing the NHS. I don't know if that's worth or not. Look, in France, they have a similar system. Obviously, it's not called NHS. But I can't remember what it's called. In Switzerland, it's completely different. So you don't have this kind of national health system. So you have it's mandatory. So you have to take a health insurance in Switzerland. So if you don't have a health insurance, you will not be seen by a hospital nor a doctor. So you have to have a health insurance, and the health insurance have three different class. So is most people can afford the middle one, and then you can have the higher one that would take you into private. If you go to hospital in a private room, quicker response, etc. And then the lower one is the ones who can't afford medium or high. They take the lower one. So if you're not well, it's difficult. But that's how it works. And then you get your bills. The bills will be sent to you. You pay the bills, and then you send everything into the insurance, the health insurance, and they will give you the money back, which I think sounds a bit like 50s stuff. I really don't know how it really works in America. I mean, the ones that can't afford even the cheapest healthcare, they just don't have an insurance. In Switzerland, it's mandatory. I mean, I'm talking about how it was 25 years ago, so before I moved to the UK. So there were three different level, not class, level of insurance. There might be more now, and perhaps the bills are sent to the insurances directly now. I don't know. To my time, I think hospitals and your GP were sending the normal bills directly to the insurance. Anything on top of it, you had to pay those bills and then send it into your insurance to pay you back. So when the insurance had an issue with those kind of whatever it was, you might not even get all of your money back. But that was not very often. So I can't really tell you if it's the same in America. I think America is worse. In Switzerland, everything is quite simple in a sense, right? Look, I had a few operations here in the UK under the NHS without having private insurance. So that's prior to moving to Scotland. That was in England, and I didn't have a private health insurance through work or anything like that. So no problems. I was treated well. I was looked after well. The I didn't had to wait a long time. Actually, I had three operations. No, wait. I had my knee operation, and I had. Look who's here. Come say hello. Come say hello to everyone. So you see two dogs and a cat. You cute thing. So this is Bria, and this cat is 9 years old, right? And this cat, from the day I got her, she was 7 weeks old. She didn't like me. She didn't love me. I waited 7 years for this cat to love me. And now I can't get rid of her, right? You love me now. Yeah, you go. So, yeah. Yeah, I'm blessed with these animals, really. It's nice to have. So I'm gonna have to go. Let me see. That's one. Thank God we have managers for. It was nice talking to you too, Papa Smurf. Thank you for joining. And yeah, if Manning is still here, or Scott, sorry, we will email each other in the background and get it working in the next, say, couple of weeks, whenever Scott has time or I have time. So I'm going to say good night. I'm sorry for the glitch, but that happens, right? We are in the 21st century. We have amazing technology, and we still get into any problems. Oh, thank you, Scott, for being here anyway, and listen to me, blah 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 blah. But yeah, I could talk for Scotland or England or for Switzerland. So I say goodbye, and I'll talk to you soon, Scott, and we'll make it work. Don't worry. And anyway, otherwise, I'm gonna Google everything, and we'll get it working. All right? Okay, then. Good night, and et voilà.